morning, Mustangs. Thanks for joining us once again. It's Friday, February 9th, and I am Amira Islam.
And I am Avash Badachan. Now for some Mustang headlines. Create a video, tell a story, and win some cash. Meeting some historical African American legends. A day in the life of a school counselor. The top seniors from the class of 2024. And a story of 2 academic teams and 1 advisor.
It's time to celebrate Black history and culture through storytelling. The theme this year is Black history and art. Students have the opportunity to create 3 to 5 minute documentaries, interviews, or narratives that highlight an inspiring aspect of Black history or a notable figure. The submission deadline is February 23rd, and the winners will be announced in the newsletter on March 1st. This contest is open to all FSA students from elementary to high school. Please contact Ms. Gion for more information.
Staying with the theme of Black history and kicking off the month with some special looks is Mustang News special feature reporter Jackson Clark. He will be taking us on a unique journey, meeting various historical figures. Today, he shares some notable facts on Carter G. Woodson, as well as his personal connection with the living legend.
Hey there, time travelers. Welcome to Hands-On Black History, Uncover and Create Adventures. I'm Jackson, and today we're diving into the life of the legendary Carter G. Woodson. This history hero, with his Harvard PhD, kickstarted Negro History Week in 1926. And guess what? That turned into the Black History Month we celebrate today. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro is a mind-blowing book. It changed how we see education and history. This guy was way ahead of his time. Woodson believed in the power of our stories, which brings me to a special story in my life, my great-grandma Daisy. My great-grandma Daisy, who's an incredible 105 years old, is like a living chapter of history. She's experienced everything from the horse and buggy days to the digital age. Every story from her is a lesson in history. Inspired by both Woodson and Grandma Daisy, it's our turn. Interview the oldest person in your family. Imagine the history they've witnessed and the stories they can share. Capture these precious stories. Maybe make a mini documentary or write a storybook. Share these living histories and keep the legacy alive, just like Carter G. Woodson did. That's all for today's history adventure. I'm Jackson, reminding you that history is alive in the stories of those around us. Keep learning and keep exploring.
What does a school counselor really do? Well, some might say they talk to students and help plan their academic schedules. But is that all they do? The Mustang team is taking a look at the ins and outs of being a school counselor, answering the questions of what happens behind the scenes and what it takes. Let's join Mustang News reporter Carson Wheeler.
Stressful situations, intense planning, and having your world flipped upside down in just a matter of seconds. These are all things you can expect from being a school counselor. School counselors have to learn how to overcome these challenges, while also leading students through challenges of their own. When asked about the time in which she started her day, middle school counselor Miss True said,
So I usually wake up around 5:15.
To wake up this early consistently, counselors need to have healthy habits, such as maintaining a good sleep schedule, while also balancing a work life. When working to make a positive impact in your environment, it is necessary that you talk to others. Miss True says,
Some days I have meetings with Mr. Turon and Miss Oliver where we kind of talk about all the things about middle school. I have a counselor meeting some days. We go over data sometimes.
Communicating with others and viewing information lets a counselor plan events and help students in the most effective way possible. That's right, event planning is just another thing that counselors do.
Yeah, so I feel like for counselors there is a lot of behind the scenes planning that happen. Right now, for example, with student council, which I do for middle school, we're doing candygrams, so there's planning in that. And then a lot of events that are counseling related, like Career Week coming up, we're planning those kind of things.
Whether it's about your grades or your emotions, Mrs. Sky Williams says,
I always enjoy when students come to my office as well, just because that is what we are here for, to support our students. So when they are coming to us for that support and that help, it really makes me feel good about being here and supporting them, and just within my role as a school counselor.
And although it may be difficult, it's not to say that they don't love it. Mrs. Sky Williams shares that
Some days it's also it's overwhelming. Like if a student comes in with a true crisis and they're just really having a bad day. I mean, of course, that can sometimes be hard for us counselors to like help them through that. We take home emotions too at the end of each day.
So now to the $1,000,000 question. What does a school counselor do? As it turns out, a lot. Things like guiding you through a tough time or helping you get into the college of your dreams is part of it. But there's also a ton of work that goes on behind the scenes. Counselors do so much for our community, so make sure you thank them and wish them a happy Counselors Week. For Mustang News, I am Carson Wheeler.
The much-awaited announcement of the top seniors in the class of 2024 are out. Securing the valedictorian spot is Nick, who earned the highest GPA for the graduating class. Coming in second with the second highest GPA and getting the title of salutatorian is Isha. Both of these students will have the honor of addressing the graduating class at graduation. Another noteworthy mention is Arden, who captured the Star Student Award. This student recognizes the senior who achieved the highest SAT score in the graduating class. But to be outdone is Sanjana, who achieved a perfect score in the ACT, scoring perfectly in every section.
High school students joined other peers from around the state in DECA's State Development Career Experience. Faculty advisor Miss Adebayo did double duty at this conference, as she was also the sponsor of the High School Reading Bowl team. While the High School Reading Bowl team will not advance this year, the elementary team walked away with first place.
The High School Science Olympiad team took home first place at Georgia Tech, medaling in 17 out of the 23 events. The team is gearing up for regionals at Kennesaw State University on February 17th.
And now it's time for the weather. Next week, we'll be seeing mostly cloudy skies with highs in the 60s and lows in the 30s. But according to Punxsutawney Phil, an early spring is on the way since he did not see his shadow on February 2nd.
Today's quote shines a light on this month's eye care value of curiosity. Alice Walker, the author of The Color Purple, which follows an African-American teenager through life in the early 1900s, shares, "Curiosity is my natural state, and has led me headlong into every worthwhile experience, never mind the others, I have ever had."
Ready for some laughs? It's time for the joke of the day. How does NASA organize a party? They plan it.
On this day in history, NASA astronaut Bernard Harris became the first African American to perform a spacewalk.
Tickets are on sale. Juniors and seniors, Spring Formal is your event. This year's theme, Mysterious Masquerade, promises to be an evening to remember. Early bird tickets will sell for $85 from now until March 31st, and $100 from April 1st to April 10th. At the door, tickets will be sold for $200 for FSA students only. Guest tickets will be sold for $100. Check the high school newsletter for details regarding bringing a guest and the link to purchase. The venue is the Golf Club of Georgia. The date, April 13th, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
From February 1st to February 29th, students can help donate coins to help fund blankets. The National Honor Society is spearheading the Blankets for Cure initiative. The recipient organization is Family Haven, a local domestic violence shelter that provides services to victims and educates the community on domestic violence. In addition to coin donations, NHS will be collecting different hygienic items for each week of February. This week, it's shampoo and conditioner. If you wish to make a donation, reach out to NHS Vice President Tristan or Mrs. Seninkaya.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Mustang News. And don't forget to subscribe to FSA's YouTube channel. I am Amira Islam.
And I am Avash Padishan, reminding you to stay safe and healthy, Mustangs. Not to mention, stay warm this week. And remember that when we, you, and I care, we are always #stronger together.